What matters most is not what happens, but how you handle it. How you can turn your biggest emotional challenges into your greatest strengths. Ever wondered if there's a way to stop feeling upset by other people's actions? Have you ever felt overwhelmed by other people's negativity, or found your day ruined by someone else's bad mood? Have you ever felt like you're at the mercy of someone else's mood swings or negative energy, as if your day, your happiness, or even your peace of mind is constantly being hijacked by others? If so, you're not alone. But what if I told you there was a way to shield yourself from this emotional contagion? The ancient Stoics developed just such a method, a mental shield that helps you maintain your calm no matter what's thrown your way. Imagine having such a tool. Think of it as a suit of armor for your mind, deflecting the negative energy that others might try to project onto you. This isn't just a piece of ancient philosophy. It's a practical strategy that you can start using in your life today. Whether it's dealing with a demanding boss, navigating the complexities of a difficult family relationship, or simply handling the daily stresses that come from interacting with others, Stoicism offers a powerful way to improve your emotional resilience. Today we're going to explore how you can apply Stoic principles to not just survive, but thrive, even when faced with life's challenges. But before we dive in, let me ask you, have you ever noticed how some people seem to stay calm under pressure while others fall apart? What do you think sets them apart? Keep this question in mind as we explore the wisdom of Stoicism. And if you find value in our journey today, don't forget to subscribe, share this video, like, and watch every part without skipping to fully grasp how you can harness the power of Stoic wisdom in your everyday life. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. Let's start with the example. Imagine you're a sailor navigating stormy seas. The waves are unpredictable, but your skill at the helm determines your journey's success. Stoicism teaches us to be like that skilled sailor, navigating our emotions through life's storms with precision and calm. This concept isn't just theoretical. Consider Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher who faced endless wars and political turmoil. He once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." His words remind us that no matter the chaos around us, the tranquility within us can remain untouched if we choose to protect it. Think about the last time you faced a stressful situation. How did you react? This advice is crucial when dealing with difficult people or situations. By focusing on our reactions, we can maintain our course and avoid being swayed by emotional storms. In the coming sections, we'll look at practical steps to apply these ideas. How can we adjust our sails when faced with the winds of anger, frustration, or disappointment? To bring this philosophy into your daily life, start small. The next time you find yourself in a challenging situation, pause and reflect. Is this within my control? If not, let it go. This simple practice can be your first step towards building a life of peace amid chaos. We are disturbed not by what happens to us, but by our thoughts about what happens. Epictetus. Minimize the narcissist's impact in your life. Have you ever felt like you're constantly being dragged down by someone else's negative energy? Whether it's a co-worker with an endless stream of complaints or a family member whose mood dictates the atmosphere at home, their influence can make it seem like you're losing a bit of yourself each day. Navigating life's complexities often involves dealing with difficult people, and sometimes these individuals can have a significant negative impact on our well-being. If you've ever felt burdened by someone else's toxic behavior, or if you're striving for a more serene existence amidst the bustle of daily life, you've come to the right place. This segment of our exploration into Stoic wisdom focuses on building resilience and claiming personal freedom from the undue influence of narcissists. Understanding Stoic resilience. To begin, let's reflect on what it means to be resilient in a Stoic sense. Resilience, from a Stoic perspective, involves more than merely bouncing back from hardships. It's about transforming challenges into opportunities for personal growth and learning. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." When dealing with a narcissist, their attempts to unsettle or dominate can serve as a catalyst for you to strengthen your resolve and enhance your self-mastery. Applying Stoic strategies. One key Stoic strategy is to focus on what is within your control. Epictetus, another prominent Stoic thinker, famously stated, "We are disturbed not by what happens to us, but by our thoughts about what happens." In the context of minimizing a narcissist's impact, this means recognizing that while you may not be able to change their behavior, you can control your reactions to it. By shifting your focus from external events, the narcissist's actions, to internal processes, your responses, you reclaim power over your emotional state. Let's consider practical steps to implement this philosophy. Establish boundaries. Define clear boundaries with the narcissist. Decide what behaviors you will tolerate and how you will respond to manipulative tactics. This might mean limiting your interactions or clearly communicating the consequences if your boundaries are crossed. Cultivate emotional detachment. Practice viewing the narcissist's actions with detachment. Remind yourself that their behavior reflects their struggles and insecurities, not your worth. Seneca's guidance is pertinent here. If you wish to be loved, love. By cultivating compassion, not just for others but for yourself, you can maintain emotional distance and avoid internalizing the negativity. Engage in reflective practices. Use journaling or meditation to process your experiences and feelings. These tools can help you stay aligned with your Stoic principles, ensuring that your reactions are thoughtful and consistent with your values. As we continue this video, I encourage you to engage deeply with the concepts being presented. If you're here watching, remember, you are not like most people. You have chosen to empower yourself by learning how to maintain your tranquility in challenging situations. You are special, so I urge you not to skip any part of this discussion. Together, let's delve deeper into how Stoicism can provide not just a shield against the narcissist's impact, but also a roadmap to a more peaceful and empowered life. Watch on as we explore additional Stoic techniques and real-life applications that will help you cultivate resilience and uphold your personal freedom, no matter the external circumstances. If a co-worker's comment can ruin our day, it means we are giving away too much of our emotional energy. Addressing control over our reactions. One of the most empowering aspects of Stoic philosophy is its emphasis on the control we have over our reactions, regardless of external circumstances. This concept is particularly vital when we interact with challenging individuals whose actions might otherwise disrupt our inner peace. Setting boundaries for inner calm. Setting boundaries is essentially about deciding how much influence we allow others to have over our mental and emotional states. It's a deliberate choice to not let someone else's mood swings or negative comments dictate how we feel or react. This practice can be transformative, particularly in our closest relationships with family members, partners, or co-workers, where emotions can run especially high. Empowering our response. The true challenge and the true strength lies not in attempting to change difficult people, but in mastering our responses to them. Every interaction with a difficult person is an opportunity to practice this skill. When someone tries to upset us or disrupt our day, our first instinct might be to react defensively, which often only escalates the situation. Instead, applying Stoic wisdom involves taking a step back, acknowledging our initial emotional response, and then choosing a more measured, thoughtful approach. How we can control our reactions. It might seem daunting at first, especially when emotions run high. So, how do we begin? First, by acknowledging our immediate feelings when provoked or upset: anger, frustration, disappointment. Recognizing these emotions is the first step in taking control over them. Next, instead of reacting impulsively, we take a deliberate pause. This pause allows us to reflect. Is there a way to respond that aligns with the person I want to be? Visualizing emotional control. Visual aids, such as a flowchart of emotional responses, can be incredibly helpful here. Picture this. At the top, there's the triggering event, followed by two branches. One leads to a reactive emotional explosion, a short-term relief that likely leads to long-term problems. The other branch leads to a thoughtful, measured response, more challenging in the short term, but immensely beneficial in the long run. Which path will you choose? Interactive engagement and practical steps. Now, I want to hear from you. Think of a recent situation where you reacted quickly and later wished you had responded differently. What might have happened if you had taken a moment to reflect before responding? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's discuss how changing reactions can change outcomes. Control over emotional investment. Epictetus, another esteemed Stoic philosopher, taught that it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This perspective is crucial when dealing with tough personalities. It invites us to consider how much mental space we're willing to allocate to someone else's negativity. If a co-worker's comment can ruin our day, it means we are giving away too much of our emotional energy. Instead, we can choose to acknowledge the comment and then redirect our focus to more positive or productive thoughts. Practical steps to maintain your equilibrium. Recognize and pause. When confronted with a difficult person, recognize your initial reaction but pause before responding. This gap between stimulus and response is where your power lies. Reflect and decide. Ask yourself, is my usual reaction helpful, or does it escalate the situation? Reflecting on this can help you decide on a more constructive response. Act according to your values. Respond in a way that aligns with your values, not impulsively based on your emotions. This might mean addressing a conflict calmly and assertively rather than aggressively. Limit exposure. Sometimes the best way to maintain inner peace is to limit your exposure to particularly toxic individuals when possible. Remember, the goal is not to suppress or deny your emotions, but to manage them without allowing them to control you. This approach is not about becoming indifferent or detached from others. Rather, it's about engaging with them in a way that maintains your own tranquility and respect for both yourself and the difficult person. We often suffer more in our imagination than in reality. Seneca. I'd like you to think about a recent situation where you felt overwhelmed by anxiety about a future event. Reflect on the outcome. Did things turn out as badly as you feared? Seneca's insights on managing our reactions. Have you ever found yourself lying awake at night, haunted by the thought of a difficult conversation you need to have the next day? Such moments are common, and they illustrate a profound point made by Seneca, a Stoic philosopher from ancient Rome. He taught that we often suffer more in our imagination than in reality. This insight sheds light on how much of our stress and anxiety stem not from what actually happens, but from our fears and expectations about what might happen. The impact of imagination on reality. Let's start with an intriguing question. How many times have you worried about an event that in the end unfolded much more smoothly than you anticipated? This discrepancy between our fears and reality is exactly what Seneca pointed out. When dealing with tough personalities, be it in personal relationships or professional settings, we frequently escalate our stress levels by imagining the worst possible outcomes. This not only affects our mental health, but can also hinder our ability to deal effectively with the situation at hand. By embracing Seneca's wisdom, we can learn to differentiate between the actual impact of someone's actions and the additional, unnecessary stress we impose on ourselves. This doesn't reduce the significance of the problem, but enables us to regain control over our mental space. Instead of being prisoners of our imagined scenarios, we can focus on the present reality and deal with it pragmatically, differentiating between perception and reality. In practice, using Seneca's insights means actively distinguishing between the actual impact of someone's actions and the additional stress we impose on ourselves through negative anticipation. For example, if a colleague has been critical in the past, you might fear harsh feedback from them. Here, it's helpful to separate your fear of potential criticism, which may or may not happen, from the real current interaction. Often you'll find that the actual situation is less daunting than your imagined scenario. Strategies to regain mental space. To effectively regain control over your mental space, consider these steps. Recognize and label your fears. When you find yourself worrying, pause to acknowledge that these are fears, not certainties. Labeling these thoughts as fears rather than realities can reduce their immediate impact. Reflect on past experiences. Reflect on previous instances where similar fears did not materialize or were less severe than imagined. This reflection can help break the cycle of negative anticipation. Focus on what you can control. Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic philosopher, emphasized control over our reactions rather than external events. Apply this by focusing on how you can respond constructively in the present moment, rather than worrying about what could go wrong. Engage in mindfulness practices. Techniques such as mindfulness or meditation can help you stay grounded in the present reality, rather than getting lost in hypothetical worries. Concluding thoughts. Seneca's observation that we suffer more from imagination than reality offers a powerful tool for personal and professional growth. It invites us to live more in the present and worry less about the future. This approach does not eliminate challenges, but equips us to face them with a clearer, calmer mind. By focusing on actual situations rather than worst-case scenarios, we can reduce unnecessary stress and respond to life's difficulties with greater serenity and effectiveness. Have you ever wondered why some comments or actions by others weigh so much on your mind? Imagine you're carrying a backpack each day, and with every negative interaction, each mean comment or manipulative gesture from someone difficult in your life, it's as if a rock is added to your load. Over time, this backpack becomes so heavy that it significantly slows you down. Understanding Stoic principles. The core Stoic principle relevant here is our ability to choose our reactions. As Epictetus, a renowned Stoic philosopher, famously stated, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This idea is incredibly powerful in the context of dealing with difficult people. While we can't change their behavior or control their actions, we have complete autonomy over how we let these actions impact us. Strategies to lighten your emotional load. Acknowledge, but do not absorb. Recognize that the negative comments or actions are external events. You can acknowledge their occurrence without allowing them to add weight to your emotional backpack. This involves a conscious decision to not let these moments dictate your mood or outlook. Focus on positive influences. Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, advocated for focusing your thoughts on things that bring you peace and joy. By directing your energy towards positive activities and relationships, you naturally begin to minimize the mental and emotional space that difficult people occupy in your life. Set clear emotional and physical boundaries. This can mean different things depending on your situation. For some, setting boundaries might involve limiting how often you see a difficult person. For others, it might mean changing the nature of your conversations with them, steering these interactions away from potential conflict and towards more neutral topics. In more severe cases, it may be necessary to cut ties altogether to protect your well-being. Practice. Mindful reflection. Seneca, in his Reflections, suggests that we often suffer more in our imagination than in reality. By practicing mindfulness, you can keep yourself grounded in what is actually happening, rather than getting lost in the potential implications of every negative interaction. This can prevent the unnecessary addition of rocks to your backpack. Reclaim your power. Every time you choose not to let a negative comment or action weigh you down, you are reclaiming power over your emotional state. This practice aligns with Stoic teachings that advocate for personal responsibility over our reactions. Engage in self-care. Ensuring that you are mentally and physically well is essential. Engaging in regular self-care activities, whether that's exercise, reading, meditation, or spending time with loved ones, can strengthen your resilience and help maintain your emotional equilibrium. Implementing these steps. The journey to emotional freedom is ongoing and requires consistent effort. It begins with the understanding that you have the ability to filter what you let into your mental and emotional space. Just as you might decide what to pack in a backpack for a journey, you can decide which experiences and interactions you allow to impact your emotional well-being. By adopting these practical Stoic strategies, you empower yourself to navigate through life more lightly, no longer burdened by unnecessary emotional weight. It's about making deliberate choices to protect and preserve your inner peace. As you practice these steps, you'll find that not only are you less affected by difficult people, but you're also more attuned to the positive aspects of your life. The greatest remedy for anger is delay. Seneca, acknowledging and managing our emotions. Stoicism, often misunderstood, is not about suppressing or ignoring your emotions. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Stoicism teaches us to acknowledge our feelings, understand them deeply, and then make rational decisions about how to proceed. This thoughtful approach to emotions is essential, especially when dealing with challenging relationships, such as a difficult family member. Understanding and responding to emotions. Imagine you are faced with a family member whose behavior constantly challenges you. It's not uncommon in such dynamics to feel a sense of loss, the absence of the supportive, loving relationship you had hoped for. Stoic philosophy doesn't instruct you to dismiss these feelings. Instead, Marcus Aurelius, a renowned Stoic emperor and philosopher, advocated for observing one's emotions with clarity and objectivity. Objective judgment, now at this very moment. Unselfish action, now at this very moment. Willing acceptance, now at this very moment, of all external events. That's all you need. This mindset encourages us to see our emotions for what they are and decide how best to address them. The role of grief in emotional healing. Recognizing that you are grieving is a critical step. Grieving for a relationship you wish was different is a natural and healthy process. It's important to allow yourself space to experience these emotions without judgment. Seneca, another Stoic thinker, believed in the importance of confronting our feelings. The greatest remedy for anger is delay. Translated into the context of grief and emotional management, giving yourself time to understand and process your feelings can lead to clearer, more effective responses. Practical steps toward emotional wellness. Seek professional help. Therapy can be a powerful tool for exploring your emotions in a structured environment. It provides a safe space to understand your feelings and the impact of your relationships. Engage in creative expression. Activities like writing, painting, or any form of artistic expression can be incredibly therapeutic. They allow you to express feelings that might be difficult to articulate verbally. Build a support network. Lean on friends, support groups, or communities. Connecting with others who provide understanding and support can reinforce your feelings of not being alone in your experiences. Rational decision-making. Epictetus, a slave-turned-philosopher, emphasized the importance of distinguishing between what is within our control and what is not. Apply this to your emotional responses by focusing on how you can respond healthily rather than trying to change the other person. Moving beyond negativity. The steps outlined above are not solely about distancing yourself from negative feelings. They're about moving towards something better, personal healing and growth. By adopting a Stoic approach to emotions, you can start to see life's challenges as opportunities to enhance your understanding of yourself and foster resilience. Remember that Stoicism offers valuable tools for understanding and dealing with complex feelings. By acknowledging and addressing your emotions thoughtfully, you pave the way for a healthier, more fulfilling life. It's a path not just away from distress, but towards a deeper understanding of yourself and a richer engagement with the world. When confronted with a challenging situation, take a moment to pause. Respond, don't react, becoming the guardian of your mental space. Protecting your mental space starts with self-awareness. It involves recognizing the moments when you are about to react emotionally and making a conscious decision to respond differently. This doesn't mean suppressing your emotions, but rather acknowledging them and choosing a response that aligns with your values and long-term well-being. Practical steps to strengthen your mental defenses. Practice mindful awareness. Pay attention to what triggers your emotional responses. Understanding these triggers is the first step in managing them effectively. Journaling. Seneca, another revered Stoic thinker, was known for his reflective writings, which were essentially meditative exercises put to paper. Journaling about daily events and your reactions to them can help you analyze and understand your emotional patterns. This reflection leads to better control over your reactions. Engage in reflective meditation. Meditation can be a powerful tool for achieving mental clarity. By regularly practicing meditation, you train your mind to remain calm and collected in the face of provocations, thereby protecting your mental space. Respond, don't react. When confronted with a challenging situation, take a moment to pause. This pause can give you the time to formulate a response that reflects your values rather than an impulsive reaction born out of immediate emotions. Choose non-engagement. When appropriate, sometimes the best way to maintain inner peace is to choose not to engage in conflict. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher who emphasized practical wisdom, advised, "If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation." Recognizing this can help you decide when it is wiser to withdraw from a potentially disruptive interaction. Maintaining inner peace. By implementing these Stoic practices, You do more than just avoid unnecessary conflict. You cultivate a state of inner tranquility that external circumstances cannot easily disturb. This approach is about more than just facing adversity. It's about transforming your reactions to foster a life characterized by peace and resilience. As we conclude today's exploration of Stoic wisdom, let's reflect on the profound insights we've gained. Stoicism teaches us that we possess the remarkable ability to protect our mental space, control our reactions, and lead lives marked by dignity and strength. This philosophy offers far more than just strategies for dealing with challenging individuals. It serves as a comprehensive guide to living mindfully and virtuously, empowering ourselves through Stoic wisdom. Marcus Aurelius, a model of Stoic resilience, often wrote about the power within us to forge our own destinies. He said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This powerful idea reminds us that our peace of mind should be treated as a sanctuary, a fortress that no external force can penetrate without our consent. In our daily interactions and challenges, we are equipped with the freedom to choose our responses, which can either fortify or weaken this fortress, building a life of tranquility and resilience. Like the Stoics, we are called to stand strong against difficulties, choosing responses that align with our deepest values and contribute to a life of tranquility and resilience. The strength we seek is not lurking in external accolades or achievements. It resides within us, ready to be nurtured and expanded. Epictetus, who emphasized practical wisdom, encouraged us to focus on what is within our control and surrender what is beyond it, thus cultivating a robust inner life that external conditions cannot easily disrupt. Continuing the journey. I encourage you to continue exploring and applying these Stoic principles. Whether you face personal struggles, professional challenges, or difficult relationships, the teachings of Stoicism provide a reliable compass. If today's discussion resonated with you, consider subscribing to our channel, sharing this video, and liking it to help spread these timeless lessons to others in search of guidance and strength. Engage and grow with us. Your engagement and support play a crucial role in expanding our community of learners and thinkers who are dedicated to personal growth and resilience. Let's keep learning, growing, and thriving together. By regularly engaging with Stoic teachings, you can continue to cultivate your inner fortress, ensuring that you remain unshaken by the tumult of the external world. Thank you for watching and for being an active participant in our Stoic Journal community. Your insights and reflections enrich our collective journey towards wisdom and serenity. Until next time, keep nurturing your inner strength, and remember, the journey to a Stoic life of peace and resilience is ongoing and ever rewarding.